Hello everyone, that was a little frustrating. I've just realised that there was no music going on at all, and I would already had the mods running, so I don't know how that got muted. I don't recall muting it last time, but it seems to have been muted, so don't know. Apologies for that, so I will keep those two tracks on for next time, and then you'll be able to hear it properly then. So it's been about a month since we last did this style of Amiga Monday. I did find out what we were doing last time. I do remember we were on the very end of Amiga format CD15. We were looking through the gallery section, so we'll continue on with that in a sec. There's also, I've noticed that I've noticed that the coming soon section needs fixing, because we've got a few games on there that we've actually done or we're in the process of doing. So the Strangers we got partway through. In fact, I might as well update this on the spreadsheet now, even in they're critical. So you might not see what I'm doing, but I will talk about what I'm doing. So I'm just on the upcoming spreadsheet, which I'm sure I've put on Discord. So due to us, we're kind of doing bits and pieces in between, because it's at that stage whereby me doing it would be a bit dull in some respects, but not in others. So that's kind of still on. The Stranger CD, I'm going to put further down because that is on hold until I get a better joypad or something, because we're getting to that point where the only time I'm winning is, I'd argue, out of luck. So on hold. Degeneration we're currently playing at the moment, so I can move that up. Then Colorado, which I need to put in. Why does that not say? Photon did suggest it, but I think I also looked at it and said I wanted to look at it anyway. So I'm going to give him half the credit. So that's next. Then we've got Rogue Trooper, which is something we've had a go at and I've been wanting to have a look at for a while. Then I've got a big gap before it says Black Crypt and Time Warrior. I'm not quite sure why I did that. It could be that I've been doing some RPG stuff at a time and it had been taking a while for me to do, and I was just like, I'll look at that at some point. We've got suggestions for Waxworks XL I'm not doing yet because I need to finish the BBC version. We've got Laser Squad and Lord of the Rings. It's on hold as well because that was a pain in the arse. So that's those two on hold. So I've got a few games in total on hold, like AD&D, Polar Radiance, but we're going to come back to that after we've done Exhumed. Alien Resurrection is on hold because of how brutal it was. I need to get back to that at some point. Amiga August is done now, so Stranger CD can be binned as the Hunter because we've already done that on Stember. So that's out the way. So I'm going to have a think about what else we could do for Amiga Monday, because I do want to do Black Crypt and Time Warrior, but it's a case of, do I want to put the time sync now or leave it till next year? Because we've only got, a week left of October. We've got November, which I'm not entirely sure what's going on, because I know Goatee does this Game of the Year thing, and I actually wanted to try it this year, but I don't know whether it's going to do it this year, If not, then we've got November. And then there's December, where I've now got Blood Bowl and Ultra Bots to play. But I do usually keep Amiga Monday anyway, so that's at least something. But yeah, that's basically, I need to sort that out. So I'll try and get around to sorting that. So let's do the, get the old PCM CIA slot in. After blowing the dust off it. Got a good day there, Wandering Warlock. Just been chatting about stuff on the Amiga side that I need to sort out. CD15. Yes, this guy that came from, I believe it's this CD, and we're on the, we are on the gallery section, so we might see it in here. So I think we got to this particular one. So the next one to look at is these two. More Babylon 5. Or at least inspired by, because I don't recognise this shit. But then again, it's been a while since I've last seen Babylon 5 anyway. It's a series I need to get back into doing. But as we've already seen in this particular end of the 90s, a lot of images were very Babylon 5's inspired, and a few from DS9 as well, so what the shower, I can't remember what the shower is. I don't know whether it's just standard multi-view. I think I did have Visage before the CF card failure. I don't think I've got it now. This feels like I was going to say Mayor, it's not Mayor, Bryce, that's what this feels like, but it's probably not. Let's see what the README says, because usually that gives some information. 2 pics created in Lightwave version 5. The Babylon 5 Cruiser, taken from the episode Survivors of the President's Cruiser, Planet View. President Cruiser. The Planet View is a nice view of some hills and a lake. And this is from somebody in Derbyshire. I've got one from Dewar Randlin, I think that is. So the sea scenery we're about to look at is created with Imagine 4. Uses Deluxe Paint 4 AGA, hand-drawn cloud in the sky. Personal Paint 6.4 for some colour and brightness added to the picture. Done on Amiga 4000 with an 030 and 6 meg of RAM. Multiview wouldn't show it progressively like this. It uses data tabs to preload them. I have no idea what's showing us. I'm just opening it and seeing what happens. I suppose I could find out if I did information, maybe. View tech, I'm assuming that's what it's using. I don't know if that's native to 3.2. I don't remember installing it though. They're all if pictures and all hand-drawn, made by, I'm going to butcher this, but Loate Pater, possibly. and Huseman, or the brother of the Houseman, called Full Goal. There are pictures from Dragon Ball Z, Sia, Les Chevaliers du Zodiac, I think, Zodiac, Sailor Moon and others. Tell us about the pictures. So these are all the pictures that you've got here. The Guyver, this is where I might have got the Guyver from. We've got an Earthworm Jim one here as well. Right, let's have a look at these there we go. Don't need to have a look at them. You're about to see it now. So this is my background. I need to resize it a bit more to get everything in. But that's basically what it is. That's where I got it from. This is very well done, this one. I quite like this one. It's got that kind of old manga, the old logo look that I haven't seen in many years, to be honest. But then again, I've not really looked into manga much as when I did it in the late 90s or the early 2000s. Because I remember all the videotapes you could get. And I remember the first one was obviously, a lot of people probably would have seen Akira, and that was our first exposure to that sort of thing. And the person that brought it, back in the day, this is before DVD, so he had a double VHS cassette of Akira, and I'm assuming that was because it was split over 2 videos, maybe. I'm guessing that's why that was the case. And then we started watching stuff like that, and I think the next one we got into was 3x3 Eyes. I do have the DVD of that set. That was quite good. And then what else did I see? I didn't see much after that. And then in recent times when I've been going back through, I think, actually no, when I met my other half, we did see Vampire Hunter D, because she's got that. And there was this whole thing of Neon, let me get this right, Neon Genesis Evangelion, is it? So they had the whole series of that. That's, I remember that one, because it was the one with the song about Fly Me to the, is it Fly Me to the Moon? That one? And we had the housemate there that would get drunk and just sing it in a really kind of silly way. And then I think later on I started seeing other stuff like, what was the one that I'd always wanted to see? And you'd see it all in magazines like 2008, they'd have this spread out of different manga stuff. So you get like Appleseed and Project AKO and, oh, what's the one that I'd seen recently? The one with, the one with the dancing, performing cat girls. Dominion Tank Police, that was it. So Dominion Tank Police I saw recently, that was very weird. Especially the scene with the, was it they had like inflatable mines that turned into penises or something like that. So weird. And then the whole like cat girl singing. So the police had surrounded these 2 girls, and it just burst into this kind of, was it like Chicago style sort of music, and all the police were just like dumbfounded and couldn't do anything. Very bizarre. And then I think, and dug deeper, and I found Pat Labor, which it took me a couple of attempts to watch because I got the Japanese version with the subtitles, and I got through most of it, but sometimes it was hard because I had to kind of pause it and go back because of how fast the language was in comparison to what the translation was. But it was still a really good film. Quite enjoyed it. I need to see the second one now. What else have I seen? I've seen was it Legend of the Overfiend? Odeski or something? I think I've seen that one finally, because the box art of that looked cool. But very adult, if I remember rightly. There wasn't much to choose from back then as far as anime was concerned. I used to run an ISE channel about Neon Genesis Evangelion. Seeing clips of that one. Bardic Broadcast, yeah, the guy that I basically say has got a voice like... I can see his face, and he's got a bushy beard. He was in the Blackadder stuff. He's got a booming voice. Brian Blessed. That's what when I hear Bardic Broadcast say, it's like is he Australian? I think he was like an Australian version of that person. Anyway, Bardic likes to show clips of it on his channel. Catgirls Dancing with a Police Track. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. Yeah. Yeah. He's got that booming voice. Probably, I'd say booming voice like I've got this beard here. Yeah. Australian Brian Blessed. That's what is what I'm gonna say from now. But yeah, at least we all know who he is. So yeah, if you've never seen Pat Labor, that's a good one to watch as well. So Pat Labor is, if you like your mechs, it's basically about a corporation with mechs, and the mechs kind of start to go weird, and they've got to find out why they're going weird. Another one that I'd seen as well that I downloaded was Ghost in a Shell. So I enjoyed the first one, and the second one where she kind of is around but doesn't turn up. Because it mostly concentrates on the guy that's in the second one. It's the guy with the blonde hair. I think it most concentrates on him, and she's kind of around but isn't. And then there's the offshoots, which was, I'm not seeing those yet. The offshoots, what are the offshoots called? I think there's some sort of files or something like that. I can't remember, but I've got them to watch as well. There's another one that's popped in. Oh, I have been watching as well the cartoon version of the Guyver, because it's the one where there's the Guyver, somebody gets that suit, but then there's another suit that's kind of a similar colour, and I think is it the school bully or something that has the other one, or the school rival or something. And then I think I've got to the part where it's like a third one as well, and there's a third suit, and I think that's the one that's been kept by the government or something like that. And on top of that, there's all the sort of mutant type of people. I think I found it out about the Guyver thing because I'd first watched Mutronics, which was known as the first Guyver film in the UK. That was the one with Mark Hamill in. Quite enjoyed that. Then there's the Dark Hero, which is the second one, which someone described more like kind of Power Rangers to the way that the fighting was done. I don't think that one was as gory as the first one, because the first one did have some goriness to it, and it was quite a lot darker than the second one. So, but as a live action, it worked pretty well. Ghost in the Shell live action. I'm sort of glad they did it in some ways, but when you compare it to the original, it's just not quite there, is it? It's got some good stuff in it, but some of it's kind of... I suppose I'm seeing it from a perspective of I saw the film first before I saw the cartoon stuff. And that's another thing I remember about the cartoon for Ghost in the Shell, was I really liked the 3D stuff that they had in the cartoons, and it, considering how old it was, it aged pretty well as well. Hello there, Cole Casper. Sorry, I'm just talking manga. The best friend used to go on about Pat Labor a lot. I have to check it out. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Let me just have a quick look at my list, as it were. I don't know if this will load up with everything that I've got. I'm not going to show what it is. It's basically like I've got like a media player. I might as well say I basically just loaded up Cody because that's where I've got the TV series. Just trying to remember what the other one was. So there's Ghost in the Shell Arise, which I've not seen yet. Standalone Complex, that's the one. So yeah, those are kind of like small little, aren't they more like small little, sort of standalone things, I think? But yeah, I've yet to see that one. Spawn, I need to get back into watching the original cartoon, that was pretty dark. Although not manga. I think that's it for TV series of manga that I've got access to. Anyway, so that was Rayman. Pretty good. That's where I'm Jim. Oh, it's the cat. The evil cat, if I remember rightly. If anybody knows this one, let me know, because I'm not quite sure. Yes, Warriors of the Eternal Sun is finished, and if you're not on Discord, then, because on Discord what I do is I try and remember to put all the finished stuff on there, so you can actually see the VODs for it straight away. But it is, if you look at the Sunday stream, Let's Stream Sunday on the completed Sunday streams, it is in there as a playlist for you to watch. Don't recognise her. Just says manga picture. Let's see what the guide says, because it might actually tell us. There we go, that one. Not knowing if anybody knows what this picture is yet, so they don't know either. Oh, okay. Must have just found the image and decided to draw it. classic Sailor Moon. Not that I've seen it myself, but I've heard of its popularity. Some random fighter. I'll have a look to see what that is in a moment. I remember when Sonic came out and everybody was, well, at least the ones that were really good at artists were doing all the drawings for it. And you could tell because it started off with the eyes, and the eyes would kind of do that. And then, you know, you got the mouth, and then everything else. That's what impact I vaguely remember Sonic had in my school. So who's the fighter? It's from a game, but I lost the name of it. Is it? So it'll be 97, so it could be a PlayStation 1, or it could be something Sega-y maybe? Because I don't recognise that fighter. I see what you mean about the bone. Question is, if they've taken this from a game, has the bone been added, or was it in the original artwork? Don't know. That'll be interesting to find out. Show somebody else. Let me know what that was. Alright, see ya. You apologise if I've butchered that. I do like the background in this, but I'm not quite sure if it's from where they got it from, or they've added it later. The thing is, I can read some of this. So the mask is literally Masku, I think it is. Masuku. There's arm, which is Armu. Leg is, I think it's Regu. Perhaps. Waist is, I can't remember, was that? So the beginning symbol, I think it starts off as being Fu. But then when it's trying to describe how it evolves, I think that talks about a shower cap, to think of it in that way. But I don't know whether it's way, because it doesn't have the double quote thing, which changes what it is. Unless it's free suto, something like that. I'm not sure. Like for example, where it says Pegasus cloth, there's like upside down tick with a circle, and that's because it's PE. Because without that circle at top, with it being a upside down tick, it's actually HE. But then when you put the two quotes above where the circle is, it becomes BE, I think. And then the circle makes it a PE. And that's how you tell the difference. It's like shoulder at the top right there. That is Shizu. So there's almost like two faces in a way, because you can see that as like two eyes and a smiley face. But there's another way, there's like a mirror version of it, and one of them is Shi, and the other one's, I think it's Zu. And when I was learning the differences, they treated it like two dogs called Shih Tzu, like that. That was a way to remember that one. So the one next to it will be the E the other way, but I think because it's next to it, it basically changes She to Show. But if I remember rightly, the only way you can do that is if you've got the next one, it's lower, smaller in size. It's a weird thing, the way that they do the writing. So, like Show, which is SHYO, there'll be the face that you've got there, and then next to it there'll be whatever the YO is, but the YO is a lot smaller and it's a lot lower down, and that's the way you kind of push those together, as I remember the Japanese. But anyway. That's that folder done. Then we've got Dragon Ball Z. There's a few of them in here. Must be fans. Don't think I've ever seen Dragon Ball Z myself. See, there again. On the writing up below, it's Vegeta, I think it is, but they don't say V, they say BE, and that's where the so it'd be Vegeta. That kind of skews the phrase English kind of way of doing it, but that's how that gets sort of translated over. I'm assuming a lot of this would have been traced over, perhaps. Unless they're really good at doing it by eye, which is always possible. See, then we're getting to proper kanji style here, which I'm not very good at. I can read a tiny amount of some of these, but it's just not possible. But the interesting thing about this is, if I remember rightly, is you see how it's got another set of language above. If I remember rightly, I can't point it out physically, but looking at the very first bottom, how do I describe it? So we look at the Dragon Ball Z bit, and then we look at the little circles underneath with the writing in. So that's Dragon Ball Z written, I think that's through katakana, I think that is. I could be wrong. Or it might be hiragana. I think the difference between them is one of them's more curved, while the other one's more kind of angular usually. Anyway, underneath that there are 4 big, we'll call it kanji, and then just above those in slight thinner stroke is some more, let's just say, katakana, I'm assuming. So those are how you pronounce the big ones underneath, and that, I think that's how that works. So it'd be Suba, I think it is. And then you got Bu, because I don't think that's Fu, I think that's Bu, I could be wrong. Or is it? No, will be Bu, could be Smite. I can't remember this. So the second one, I think originally is Fu, but it's something else because of the 2 quotes, and I can't remember what the other one was. And I think you've got the last one is Zen, I think it is. And the one just before that is, I think it's Torah or something like that. Not sure about that one because I can't remember what the second one is. But that's how you pronounce those. If you're ever sure and you see that sort of thing, that's basically what it is. Hopefully I'm getting this right. I'm not misleading anyone. It's been a while since I last did my Japanese anyway. So the Japanese for this, I think it's Goten Fusu, is it? Or Goten Wasu? Wow, that was it, yeah. The other one was Wa. Right, now that's the annoying one, is that the third letter in is, there's 2 types. There's the one that does that and there's one that does this. So it's like this, and you've got one that's currently like that, and you've got one that does this as well, just on its own. One of them is just the letter N. The other one is so. I think it is. I don't remember this one. I'm pretty sure it's N. Because there's 2 ways you can do the N. There's the sort of H thing, and there's this way of doing it. Let me just check. I think it's Goten. Sure, that's Wasu. Yeah, almost, yeah. What does it say? Goten Kusu. Yeah, I might have got that one wrong then. So I was almost there. Oh, and also remember, if you're not on Discord, there's the Discord if you want to catch up with things. Because I do put the VODs on there on the channels. For example, was already asked by Cole Classman about Warriors of the Eternal Sun. I think that's Jenny. Savanenha. Or Nesoha. Chia. Noko. It's Neo. Neo. Is it nurse slipping? Oh no, because I got the right. I said ha, not ba. Now here's a weird one. And I've seen this done before. Sometimes it's almost like the N. So on the text here, you've got, and I'm pretty sure that was J, but I would have thought the first one was going to be like page, and they usually use that in page, but I thought it was GE rather than JE. And then you got the letter after it, which kind of makes it more of an A, so it becomes J. And then you got Ni, which was right on. But the next one is usually an N, but they've put this as an M. And that's the first time I've ever seen them do that. And I've seen that before, actually, when I go to sometimes I go to, I have the past few years gone to a conference called Develop Brighton. They've got this really nice Japanese place called Ponpoko. And I'm pretty sure they've swapped the N and the M on that one. That's kind of weird. If you excuse me, I'm going through all these and just going through and I've just realised that's what it says there. I've just completely missed what it says on the. Never mind. Yeah, whatever. I'll just shut up and just go through this. Some good shading on the eyes on this one. 5 minutes before ads. Oh, we've been doing this for an hour? Didn't realise. I have to get a move on. I do want to at least start the 16th CD. So we can get on with some gaming. And that's the last few Dragon Ball Z pictures. I think that's it for this particular folder. So we've got not much to go now, depending on what's in the rest of them. So read me for this one. Hi Nick, I a reader of Amiga format that writes to you from Italy. I justify my very bad English, but I think you will understand me equally. I'm a fancier of graphics 3D, and I dispatch you some images that I created using Imagine 4, Essence, and Image FX. All is created using Amiga 4000 40 megahertz, I believe. 16 plus 2 megabytes of RAM. Hope you like them. What we got? A look at these, and then we'll go into ads. So let me snooze for the first time. It's very wide and picture. Is this Stargate based? Because this would have been about the same time, I think. It's a very big picture. Trojan course coming out of a Stargate type thing. And somebody's image I can't get a full view of because that's as far as it goes down. So it could be that it's just cropped it off. Really don't know how people come up with this as kind of artwork stuff. I could never come up with something as crazy as this. Just wouldn't make sense to me, I don't think. Pretty nice. Right, starting to add in about 3 minutes. We've just been on that folder. We've got these 6 to go through. So it's probably not going to take long. Right, I'm going to take the break now, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes. I know this ad says starting in 3 minutes, but I've already snoozed it once. So see you in 3.
Revolutionized the first-person shooter with award-winning 360-degree stomach-wrenching action. Then we plunged you deeper into chaos with deadlier enemies that fed off your power. Now, after years of waiting, there is light at the end of the tunnel. Descent 3's fusion engine lets you move seamlessly from inside to outside. Crush your enemies, set them on fire, and watch them suffer. Match wits with robots that sneak up behind you, hide behind walls, and work in teams. The best multiplayer out of the box, Descent 3 is optimized for modem internet play. Descent 3.
Right, we last looked at Lucas. I think we're on Martin Bampton's. Just a few nice Vista renders of the crater Lake DEN. The computer and the programmer did all the hard work. I just told it where to look. Don't think the Amiga likes this very much. I mean, it likes a smaller version. Weird. Yeah, didn't like that one either. What's Matthew Scott got for us? It's my first contribution to the cover CD in the form of some pictures that I've created. Some of them are a few years old now, so nice to see the best ones first. Look at them in the following order, if I remember. So we got a Amiga 1200 done in Personal Paint 4. Got just started Amiga 1200. This is an early Amiga 1200. Testarossa in Deluxe Paint 3. Got a 600. Do you recognise this AF? Oh, Amiga format. Charlotte Hornets logo. Bugatti. Maz 2. Based on work by a friend who, if used to own a Spectrum and read your Sinclair, you will recognise the artist behind Ernie the Psychotic Madman. Hello there, Photon. Maybe especially in the ILBM format and it ignores the hunk. Yeah, I don't know. You're best off knowing this sort of stuff. And a good evening to you too. Just finishing off this CD. So I'll probably do some extra time tonight so we can actually get up the second CD. Oh, that reminds me actually. CD 15 is slightly different because there are two CDs for us to look at. So this is CD 1. I don't know what the other CD will have on it, so it'll be interesting to see what it does have on it. So we won't be going to 16 actually thinking about it straight away, but it depends on what's on the second 15. It could be just a small thing and we can just move on, or it could be not. I don't know. And this is why I said you recognise the AF, because it's probably copied the that looks like 52A. If you know what 52A is. In fact, I could be wrong here, but that's Blitz Basic, and that would be Zombie Apocalypse by the looks of things. I'm guessing that's what that one was. It's definitely an Amiga 600 with the LEDs under the Dell keyboard. Could be Hame, but with 12-bit base colours instead of 24. So you probably need something specific to look at it with, rather than just whatever I'm using. Yeah, same graphic, but just switched away from the A600. So that's a graphic, but done in a very styled way. This is just another issue that the Amiga can't pick up. What's Nick Rowe got for us? Dear Sir or Madam, please find enclose a disc containing 2 pictures. I will be very grateful if you are considered for the entry in the gallery. They are both 640 by 256 images stored in 24-bit IF format, and were both rated with Imagine 2, Vistalite, Image FX and Photogenics. Sorry they couldn't be in high resolution, but I cannot afford a RAM upgrade at the moment, and 2 meg of RAM doesn't stretch too far. For 2 meg of RAM, that's pretty colourful. Well, what I can see, actually thinking about it, it's almost like it's views some sort of landscaping thing, and then is that like a globe or something like that, perhaps, or maybe a crystal ball or something, perhaps. Either way, it's got some colour to it. It's not horrible, so it's fine. Globe, there we go. That's fine for a 2 meg picture. Peter Baldwin, we've got some animation. There's a few pictures of rendered in Lightwave using the Amiga 4000 030 33 MHz with a 6882, so that's the FPU at 50 MHz. We've got Dogfight and Dogfight 2 are the frames rendered in high-res lace versions. Take and from my low-res non-lace overscan animations. The background was digitized in a spaceship and jet were rendered on top. I built the objects at the same shape as the fence and the houses in the distance to cast shadows on them. For the 3D objects as I pass overhead, this can be seen better on the animations. ID01 JPEG again is taken from one of my animations and rendered in high res. This time the entire picture is made of 3D objects. Potato 1 and MP and HPO1 are from the animations rendered. Not much to say here, but good fun doing them, as my children asked me if I could do what they'd seen on Toy Story, so here's my attempt. Peep Room was taken from a set of weird animations. Don't know what made me do them. A good exercise for making an entire 3D room, it may be. Pete Eyes JPEG was rendered as a single picture just for fun. I grabbed a picky of me looking quite shocked, then made some eyeballs in Lightwave and textured them with veins. The pupils and iris were solid black, high reflectivity, high specularity, and the fractal noise for the iris using 2 shades of green. I downloaded a picture of me as a background image and moved the eyeballs forward at high speed to get a bit of motion blur. I rendered a few animations using a moving background, but the quality wasn't that good, as I don't have time. I don't have a VLAB motion, just a normal VLAB, so grabbing frames one at a time from the standard VHS was the only option. PS, everyone keep up the good work, Amigans, as it seems all the talentless game playing beat your neighbour with the fastest hardware types are PC plebs, wasting all their money by surrendering to Microsoft in the head, and Intel me. Oh, these are terrible puns. Intel me now, all you need is 460k base memory and 64k slot of video RAM, page screen, even with a P200 MMX. Try to play some real animations without compression. Ha 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 ha. All the best, dude. Peter Baldwin, Cardiff, South Wales. Always got some, even in the late 90s, there's always some digging going on with the PC a lot. Hey ho, and a bottle of it. I could tell that's a picture of someone's backyard. Yeah, back garden. Just saw that now. So that'll be the superimposed other bits. Am I either being too quick with myself today or too slow for myself today? I'm not quite sure which. Is there a beer brand called Burps? I think it would be popular. I don't think so. Mind you, in this day and age, I won't be surprised if there is one. I'll have me a bottle of Burps. Independence Day ripoff. Oh, I see. Because of the bit at the top there. And the IDO one. So if you remember when I did Mados, we were looking at the Independence Day sort of game discs that came with some of the toys. I also remember to put the audio in, not that we needed it anyway. Good effort with the potato head style, from because he was trying to do the whole Toy Story thing. Was Hockey Puck in the original Toy Story? Because I don't recognise, unless that's a new creation by Peter Baldwin himself. of fun people have with this, with these packages. They're a bit sort of, the packages are very kind of, probably not as realistic as today, but still, the amount of fun you can get out of it, even back then, was quite something. I mean, to make something like that was... It's almost like I could say, let ChatGPT do that off its own back, as it probably wouldn't. Pete's eye room. Oh, I see what you did there. Not quite sure about the image on the right for the TV. Oh, is he taken a news anchor from somewhere? Because that's what I'm guessing. I don't know what the thing on the right is. Probably superimposed, maybe some game character, something next to her. That's what I'm guessing. Cozy room with appropriately huge posters for sale. Yep. There's a Reeby on the Dino doll. Oh, it's the animation. In this animation, I use a standard Imagine Triceratops object and keep doing that. Texture mapped it using if images and fractal noise and bump mapping, and then shot some video of me darting towards the door and digitized the images one frame at a time using a video with a good pause, and then made a mock-up wall and hinged door object, sort of like a film set in texture the door and wall using the front projection. This was then set up in the layout with the camera matching the digitized scene. I then animated the Triceratops and the door to match the video sequence. The lighting was set to cast a shadow on the wall from the Triceratops, and I set ray trace shadows in the camera options. The whole thing was ray traced using low anti-aliasing with the motion blur on default. This gives more realistic look to the fast movement of the Triceratops head. Unfortunately, I somehow missed one or two of the frames while digitizing the video sequence, so I seem to jump up a bit fast towards the end while fighting to keep the door shut. Anyway, I hope you like the animation. That was pretty good, actually. Because if you didn't say that was an Imagine model, I probably wouldn't have known, especially with the way the lighting is. It does give that. And I think that's one of the things that tricks that puppeteers in films would do, was to change the lighting so that you couldn't see whatever the model is fully, to give it that kind of more almost real look, if you see what I mean. But yeah, that's pretty good, actually. Right, 2 more folders, and then we've got the next, well, I'll find out what the next CD is. Blinky Bill, drawing freehand in Deluxe Paint Forward and added noise to chin using photogenics. Loads quite quickly too. Very nice. Last folder, Samuel Brooks. Snake Files. Hello, I'm Samuel Brooks, the artist who drew the Snake Files. The Snake Files on this disc are copyright and drawn especially for the Amiga format CD. I hope you like them. If you do and you want a personalised one or one with for a special occasion, send a self-addressed envelope. I think that's what that was, if I remember rightly, with a disc you want them on and a fairly detailed description of what you want and how many you want. I reserve the right to refuse any orders. If I do refuse, I will give you the stamp, disc, SAE and check back. These personalised images are freely copyable for your own use. Just going to scan the rest of it. So the lowest price is $150 for 100 with 0 to 25 words. Okay, what are these Snake Files? So it's almost like a meme, maybe? Took me a moment to think about that one. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible. Okay, nice little memeable kind of art stuff there. We've got this anim file. I was walking down the street and a man with a mask over his face and a gun in his hand gave me a big bag of money. For some reason, when he heard sirens, he ran away quickly laughing and said, "Wait here, I'll be back in a minute." I waited for 5 minutes and got a bit bored, so I took the money home with me. It was a good day for me because I got a few million quid and because I became famous. I saw a picture being a program called Crime Watch, whatever that is. It said, if you see the snake... Oh, God, come on, let me read it. I'll have to go back, hang on. Where's it gone? If you see the snake, phone this number. So I went to my mirror, had a look at myself and phoned up. Terrible. Shop over skinned in. Either way, that's pretty good. Right, so that is that CD finally done. Let's see what the second CD is then. Project, I'll have to give you a moment whilst I put it on here. Sure, I'd already unpacked it somewhere. Probably is there, but I can't see it now. Got 4, 8, 9, 10, and 13, and I think that's because I was trying to pull back some of the missing programs that would have been on before the CF card crash. That's the one. So this can be binned. Just extracting the second CD. Copy this into here. Can I push that there? Oh. In fact, whilst I'm waiting for the CD to write, I might as well do a proper clean reboot. Okay, less than 400 meg to go. Because I'm currently copying it on the CF card. Okay, now 165. So not that far to go. $100. $50. And done. Okay. What is on the second CD? When I finally get the card in. There we go. Phase 1. Some sort of shareware collection. So we've got lots of fonts on here and clip art. Let's just see what the software we've got in here. So we've got directory open, which I've already got. Add Pro. Amiga, I don't know what those are. Article editor, page stream. Pretty sure that's like a word processor or something, or a DTP. DPaint 4, Scarlet M4, I've already got that anyway. Wordsworth, that's definitely a word processor as its final writer. Is that it? So this is basically just a demo of stuff that this CD's got on there. Right, not that interesting then. That's fine. Worth a look anyway, I suppose. Right, in that case, stick around for a little bit longer. I can put on disc 1 of CD16. And usually what happens if you're new to the channel is that when we start off a new CD, usually what gets shown is emulators first and then the games. But it depends on how many emulators you've got as to whether we get to the games quickly or not. Right, CD16 is uploading. Give me a moment, I'll be back in a sec. Right, we are just above halfway done. It's nice to get back to this sort of format. It's been a while since I've done it, like I said. Because remember, last 2 weeks we're looking at Amiga versions of ST games. Some of the ST games I was looking at in December. And it was good to sort of see the differences, because there's always that sort of, is it better on the Amiga or not? And sometimes they're just about the same, but like we saw with, what was that police game we were playing? The one with the vector graphics. The Killing Cloud, that was it. And the other one was Cyber Assault, that was also a good one as well. And one of those games that you could use a phaser for, which I think must have been starting to fall out of favour, because I don't remember them as much on the Amigas. Especially now you've got a mouse, so they could use that instead. I remember phaser's been a kind of thing more on the Spectrum just about, and then they kind of made a resurgence on the consoles, especially the Mega Drive and SNES era. So the SNES had got the big bazooka, was it Super Scope, and the Mega Drive had got the Menacer, which unfortunately didn't get as many games. I think both of them didn't have as much in the way of games for them as well. But I remember them more on the 16 bits. I think they just tried a bit more with them in terms of marketing. That's that done. And then obviously you got the I think the slight resurgence. Oh wait, what was no, you still got some light game stuff on a Dreamcast and Saturn, but that was through, I was going to call resurgence, but not really a resurgence, through the popularity of games like Virtua Cop, which you could play on the PC, but that was mouse only, I believe. You could do some of those games with the joypad, but they weren't as fun. Right, CD16, let's see what we've got on you. Oops. Do these signs first. It's nice I don't have to go to a separate folder to do that now. In the mag, we start off with emulation. What we got? We got a Dragon 32. We've got some cross ASM, Motorola, the included assemblers 6801, 6804, 6805 and 6809. So this one I remember for Vectrex, and I think it also is in a Dragon as well. Should run on the Amiga with no modification from the Clay. Reported from the MS-DOS versions found on this board, being compiled with version 4.02 Lattice C compiler. Used this 6805 quite a bit with no problems. The others have been tested by very short files, and while they all work, since I've not tested them extensively, you might want to run a well-known source file and comparing to resultant S19 files to be sure. So it is a clear only. Some examples there. Cross assembler, which basically means you can compile on the Amiga and it spits out 68 whatever it is. Dragon 32 6809, there we go. Do we have any free things to load? No. Let's load these. If I remember correctly, on a 6809, especially for the Vectrex, the X and Y were useful for the line drawing. And if I remember correctly, one of the registers will combine X and Y together. I think it's N, maybe. One of them did. You can just pull it as one big chunk. Doesn't seem to do much. I might need to come back to this next week and see if there's any anything we can load a different way. Heading to bed. Have a good one. Thank you very much for putting in Photon. Okay, well, I'll come back to this one next week. Dream 102. There's another dragon one. We don't have any software. Dream is a Dragon 3264 Tandy Coco emulator for the Amiga. Well, the emulator supports the emulator supports most of the hardware that the machines above do, with the most notable exception of being a few screen modes and audio cassette loading and saving. Uses rec tools. Oh, and again, you need to have a copy of the ROMs before they'll actually run. Okay, so we'll have to come back to this one next week. Model 13 TRS-80. That's not working. Docks on the 6809. Ooh. We do have some programs. PC task, okay. Shapeshifter is the Amiga Apple emulator. I've seen this before. This is MSX. Not sure what this is. Oh, 1541 is the file drive, I think it is, for the Commodore 64. So now that we know we've got some PD stuff, let's see if We can open something. Maybe this needs a ROM as well, perhaps. Right, okay, emulation on this one's dead, unfortunately. So I need to get the ROMs back for that. AREX, website stuff. So AREX is kind of like the Amiga's internal programming thing. Should be able to open this in AWeb. There we go. Old school web page for you. Adds in about 5. Oh, it's this that creates all this, right? I see. Okay, I get it. Amiga.net. Program to work out BT call charges. So we've seen those before. Not specifically for BT charges, but just charges in general. Online timer so you don't spend too long on the internet, because we used to have to dial up. Online stats. Again, checking for your calls. Yeah, phone bill with the modem. Shareware here. Not looking at yet. Oh. Oh, that's nice. Gives you all the covers. Cool. I love the fact they've done that. Got some more games to look at some point. Got screenplay, Vulcan we've seen before, and lots of games here. Right, in that case, I think I'm going to call it a call a break, and then we're going to do Degeneration, and then we're going to come back to this next week. So next week I need to find a ROM for the Dragon 32, grab some games, we'll see if that's running, and then we'll start having a look at the little shareware stuff, and then we can do some gaming. I think that'll be next week. PD select what's in here. AGA demo. And F1 license where is just like a publishing company. So I'll take a break now. We'll come back. We'll have a look at this and see if this runs. See if that runs. And that'll be the PD section, and then we'll do some degeneration. So see you in about 3 minutes.
What now? I command you. What do you be wanting me for? Well, this will stop 'em, to be sure.
This looks interesting. I'm ready.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Holstead here.
If you want.
With honor. Eagle be my eyes.
Hello, welcome to my store. Here you can buy supplies which your party may need. Do you want to sell this?
Okay. Let's see if this deport thing actually works. AGA, huh? No, clearly not. It's probably one of those ones that actually you have got to copy it onto disk and then play it through some sort of, I don't know, boot thing. Which I'm not very good at anyway. Okay, this one the game is from the F1 section. Oh, it's this. I see. Yeah, I'm not going to go through this. Right, okay. Just reboot, and then we can do a bit of degeneration. If I remember where I was. Can I remove this? At least it doesn't crash when I click on these now. It just wish they weren't here. I'll have to figure this one out later. Right, what was we? Is it AGA version we're on? '93. Yeah, there we go. Okay, you're right. I remember what you said. You were saying something like, something about the reader. I can't remember what you said, but it was. We've spoken to you before, anyway. This one has a, oh yeah, just to the right there. So you can see there's the wall with the blue door, and follow the eye up as the lines go up that way. So you'll see like a circular green thing, keep going. On the wall is that flashing red thing. So that basically is like an eye that activates, and it's the reason why all these have popped up is because of that eye. Can't remember if there's a way to get around it by. Maybe going round? No. Might be able to bounce a laser. Out of their portal. No Pixel today. She's in the other room. Right, so what I think I might be able to do on this one is if I bounce the shot. There we go, electric eye destroyed, which means I can get through here. He won't talk to us because he's an idiot. Is that it in here? Oh yeah, I remember this. Can't destroy that. Oh, we got to here last time, I remember this. Oh, she was talking about the bomber. I remember this now. Ah! Ooh. Great positioning. No. Huh. Oh, is it one of those ones where we're going to shoot the... Is, isn't it? Hmm. Unless you're not a problem anymore. sort of understand that. So if I do that, then go all the way around. Oh. I think that's correct. Is there anything that makes sense so far? Ooh. Ah. Wasn't quick enough. So I managed to sneak in last time, but not this time. Maybe I just need to grenade some things, but just not very good on the grenading side. I don't know if anybody's got to the point of the bomber. It's be interesting to see if... Oh. Got you. Ah! If anybody has gotten to the point where they've been blown up by the bomber, that's what I'm trying to think of. Nice outfit I'm wearing, okay. What's your name? I'm Edward, pleased to meet you. What do you do? What do? I do interior design. This place needs it. This place is atrocious, it's so 80s. The saturated colours, the hard edges. I tell you, not even those explosions could make this place look worse. What's going on? I was here taking some measurements when this giant blue phallus thing came shooting into the room like some bad trip. I thought I had a heart attack. Critical hardly time for yeah. Do you know anything about the reader? Oh god, he's that scientist, isn't he? Is he responsible for all this? Oh, I'm just not in the mood for this. Do you know what the degeneration is? No, is that some sort of designer drug? We're gonna get blown up soon anyway. Oh, you're dead. That was a waste. Okay. Oh, you're gonna need to. Hello there, tell him. There ain't no way I'm gonna make this in the 8 minutes. I'll probably end up dying first. Well, say that. It's got this kind of ongoing lives thing, doesn't it? So that's not gonna make much of a difference. Oh. The thing with the balls is if they catch you, and you've probably seen it happen before, and one of your shots hits it just as your legs are in the air, you should be fine. Don't know what this is doing. There we go. That's what we wanted. At least we've got some progression, so at least that's something. So it got me through the teleporter. Thing with those turrets is you can't always guarantee that they'll shoot and then not shoot, or shoot and then shoot straight away, if you see what I mean. It's very random for their shots to be anything predictable sometimes. 4 grenades. I'm not quite sure how many floors I'm supposed to be going to. We started, I think, on 81. Something like that. I hate these generation things. I think the worst ones are the ones that can impersonate you and then they just run at you and then blow up. I wonder whether it's just blowing those up. And there's a spare grenade over there, but it's a bit pain to get to. I'm going to play this for another 9 minutes and then I'm going to be done because I'm very tired. "55 seconds, 54. Bombers coming in thick and fast." Interesting to see what the death screen for this is going to be like. I wonder whether the package for Dorito is to stop the bomber. Well, 27th of June 2021, International Network News. Singapore, a massive explosion rocked the entire downtown area last night as a Genuk by a medical tower exploded in a huge fireball. A Genuk spokesperson stated that the explosion was not an accident, but an attack by one of Genuk's rivals, possibly another genetics multinational. A search of the rubble revealed no survivors. At least it's a final death. Back in a second. It's got an intro sequence. I didn't realise it had that. Yeah, it's the thing about cats is sometimes the you can feel like their kind of wispy fur it starts to land in your nose and you just kind of like just annoying sometimes. Right. I did say I was going to play this for another 10 minutes, but I'm just starting to falter a bit. But at least we've managed to get to the next area. But before I finish off, let me see how many levels I've got. So I think we're on 88 now. Oh, excellent. So according to a walkthrough, we've only got this level, the next one, and that's it, we're done. So we're close to actually finishing this now, which is really, really good, because that'll be another game I can mark off as done. I'll be really happy when that's in. And then we can move on to Colorado afterwards. And then we can get close to the Road Trooper. I also need to have a look into I was going to say Degeneration, no. Sequel to Millennium. Due to us. I need to find out where I'm up to with that and then see whether I can kind of put another hour in at some point. Because I remember rightly, we'd got most, that was it, we got most of the solar system. And there's one left to go that we can destroy of the enemies. But as soon as we do that, it unlocks the rest of the sectors, but then you just get hit by all the other people. So I think what I was doing was I was building my resources up until a point where I can easily take out, I can easily take it out now, but take them out and build my ships up to go out elsewhere, because I'll need at least 50,000 for all that. So that's for when I can. So, but the good thing is we're almost done with degeneration. Anyway, I'm going back tomorrow because we've got, hopefully, with a bit of luck, the last Exile Escape from the Pit, because we're on, tomorrow will be episode 50. And I really want episode 50 to be the last episode, or at least coming towards that point. I'd probably push for another 5, but episodes, but we'll have to see. Cross your fingers that tomorrow's the day, because we are on pretty much the last final boss battle as far as I remember. Then Friday we've got KKND. We're about 2 levels away from that being done. There have been occasions where we've had to use the hex editor to cheat because the game's a bit too heavy-handed on some levels. Is what it is. And then Sunday we're playing Minor 2049er, and then back again for Amiga Monday, like today, back to usual with the new Amiga format CD, that's 16. So we're starting up with the gaming and the emulation. So I need to get Dragon 32 ROMs, both firmware ROM and some games as well. There's a couple that I know of, so I can pick some of those up, and then we can have a look at some of the games, and maybe have a look at some of the, because they've given us all the scans of their magazine for Amiga format, so that should be interesting to look at next week. We have faith. Yes, I'm crossing my fingers as well for tomorrow. So yeah, that is it. Let's go and see who we've got available for the raid. Let's go raid Dr. CDCS. He is playing Phantasmagoria, the first one, on, it'll be DOS, I think it will be, if I remember rightly. So I've been kind of watching this, and it also prompted me to watch, if you remember, not stream, I suppose, back in those days, he would have just been a video creator called Spoonie from the Spoon Experiment, who did Phantasmagoria 2 riffing. So I've managed to basically binge through that, because that's one that I do like to go back and watch on occasion. Phantasmagoria 2 is quite interesting. I will have to have a go at that at some point, but I don't know whether I'm going to stream it or stick it on YouTube. That's kind of 50-50 on whether I'm going to do that. Give me a second, let me just snooze the ads. I'm not going to make you go through ads unnecessarily. So we've got 9 minutes. Okay, so let's go raid Dr. CDCS for Phantasmagoria. There we go. Right, I hopefully see you tomorrow. If not, you know the rest of my schedule. And until then, bye.